Most buildings take months, sometimes years, to rise. But one night in a quiet rural town, a church appeared out of nowhere. No sounds. No workers. No foundation. Just a stone church standing in the middle of an empty field as if it had always been there. This is the story of the church that was built overnight, and why no one who entered it stayed the same. Part 1. Discovery. At dawn, just before sunrise, an early jogger named Ray noticed something strange. The field behind Miller Road, normally empty, now held a building. A church. Tall stone walls, a pointed steeple, stained glass windows glowing faintly. Ray ran home confused. By 7 a.m., the entire town surrounded the field. They all said the same thing. It wasn't there last night. And yet, the church looked ancient. Weathered stones, vines crawling up the sides, a heavy wooden door carved with symbols no one recognized. The mayor called the county. The county claimed they didn't build it. No one had. By noon, the whispers started. Was it abandoned? Did someone move it here? Who would build a church without telling anyone? But the real question was, why did it feel alive? Part 2. The first entry. A group of locals decided to step inside. Ray, the jogger, a schoolteacher named Marla, a young couple, Sam and Danny. The moment they touched the doors, the wood felt warm, like it was breathing. Inside, the air was dusty but strangely fresh. The pews were arranged perfectly, each with a black hymnal placed exactly in the center. At the front was an altar, old, cracked, stained with something dark that no one wanted to touch. Above it hung a wooden cross, but the carving on it wasn't a figure of Christ. It was something different. A tall, thin shape with elongated arms. Hollow eyes. A mouth carved into a scream. Sam whispered, "That's not a saint." And the candles along the walls, unlit a second ago, all flickered on at once. Everyone ran. Part 3. The choir that sings at night. People avoided the church for the rest of the day. But at midnight, a family living nearby heard something coming from the field, singing, soft, haunting choir music. No words, just low, harmonic tones that didn't sound human. Neighbors gathered on their porches, listening. It grew louder, deeper, layered with dozens of voices. But the windows of the church stayed dark. No lights, no movement, just that impossible choir echoing through the night until suddenly it stopped. And for the first time, the church door creaked open on its own. Part 4. Dr. Haven's investigation. The mayor called in a historian, Dr. Elias Haven, an expert in religious architecture. He studied the symbols carved into the door and turned pale. "These aren't Christian," he whispered. "This church doesn't belong to any known religion." Inside, he noticed something new. The pews had changed positions. They now formed a circle around the altar. The cross was lower, closer to the ground, almost like it wanted to be eye level. At the altar, Dr. Haven found a hymnal, but instead of songs, the pages contained names. Hundreds of names, all written in the same shaky handwriting. And one on the last page, Ray Porter. Ray, the jogger who discovered the church? The ink looked fresh. Part 5. Ray goes missing. When Dr. Haven and the mayor rushed to tell Ray his house was empty, his phone lay by the door. His shoes were gone. On the kitchen table was a scrap of paper. "It's calling me." Search teams went out at sunset. They found footprints leading toward the church, but none coming back. Inside, the candles were burning again. The pews had rearranged themselves into 2 rows, forming an aisle, like the church was preparing for a ceremony. At the end of the aisle, in front of the altar, Ray's hat. Still warm. Part 6. The doors lock at dawn. Dr. Haven ordered the church to be sealed off. Barricades. Chains. Warning signs. But at dawn, people found the chains broken on the ground, not snapped, melted. The doors were wide open again. A farmer saw something inside, shadows moving along the walls, shifting like figures in a firelight, even though no fire burned. That night, the choir returned. Louder, deeper, layered with voices that sounded familiar. One neighbor swore she heard Ray singing. Part 7. The final night. Dr. Haven decided to destroy the church. At midnight, he brought a crew with sledgehammers. But the moment they stepped inside, the doors slammed shut. Lights flickered. The air grew thick and cold. The hymnal on the altar flipped open by itself to a blank page. Then, slowly, words carved into the paper, as if by an invisible hand. Dr. Elias Haven. His breath caught in his throat. The floor began to vibrate. Shadows stretched toward him, long fingers reaching across the stone. He screamed. Outside, townspeople watched as the stained glass windows lit, as if fire raged inside, yet no smoke escaped. When the doors finally opened at sunrise, the church was empty. No Dr. Haven, no crew. Just the hymnal on the altar, now filled with new names. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more terrifying stories.